pass is hanging out as he makes a break upfield. Stepping back on. Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Cameron Munster's now putting his balls in Nick Meaney's face.
I have no idea what the waste of water sports is.
Waste of Water Sports ahoy! I think that is the first time in history, the first time ever, that the intro has gone so perfectly timed. Welcome along, everybody. Nice to have you here. Fresh off the Generations vodcast last night. I hope you enjoyed that. Those of you that were free to jump in and check it out, we very much appreciate it. My dad, I think the old Panther was a little bit nervous about it, I think, just quietly. But no, it went absolutely well last night. It was fun. Obviously, we picked a terrible night to launch something new on reflection. Completely bad night to be going and launching something new because the whole of Australia was, as you would expect, in Matildas mode, and completely fair enough. But we had to start sometime. And I'd already announced it, so we couldn't go back on it once I'd already announced it. Dad, the old Panther there, he came over especially just to film it, so I couldn't do my regular, sorry guys, had a nap, played nap roulette, lost, my bad, I'll see you next stream. Couldn't do that last night. But anyways, yes, of course, the whole of Australia was going crazy for the women's football and the Matildas going down to England, which, let's be honest, that was expected. And I say that with the utmost respect to the entire team and to the entire code. But let's be honest, I don't think there were any surprises there. But it would have been interesting, truly, truly interesting, to see what would have happened had the Matildas got up there. Anyways, Wasted Water Sports. Here we are, ready for another weekend and a massive, massive night in the context of the season. Before we jump into that too much, though, we've got to do a very special shout-out. Everyone there on the leaderboard, look at that, Jason Bourne. I actually thought, Vobsy, you would have made up a lot of ground last night during the Generations stream. But look at that, Jason Bourne. He's raging out in front. I think that's when you fell asleep the other week, wasn't it? What was that? That was during the rugby, I think, maybe. Anyway. Plenty of time still left to come up. Jason Bourne there on top. Vobsy very close behind in second spot. Our usual culprits, Shack of Hearts, Will, Michelle. Oh no, I've still got the Chuggy still announcing the Generations vodcast. No, Chuggy, we did that last night. It's been done and dusted. And anyways, last time out, there was a tie at the top of the leaderboard. Jason Bourne, though, as the overall leader going into the tied round. I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. Before, the scores were at absolute deadlock. It took a little bit of time to organise, but we finally organised it. A very special congratulations to Jason Bourne, who did just enough to knock Vobsy off the top of the leaderboard. He can't do the clean sweep for the year. Jason Bourne got in on top there. Got in on top. That sounds horrible. He managed to join in the lead there. Join in. Okay, it's not getting any better tonight. I should just... Game of Mel, ahoy there. Blake Lyons, ahoy, mates. Welcome along. Mr. Ed's dead, ahoy. Shack of Hearts, ahoy, mate. And luckily he escaped. Anyways, if he's there, we're going to play his video for him. Jason Bourne, that is. It was about as miserable as we expected it to be honest, because I've noticed that every time the teams that we try and get somebody from lose, they're understandably just miserable by the time they get around to doing the video, and this was no different. Hellfire, Paintball, Salt Ash, New South Wales, Australia, ahoy there, mate. Blake Lyons asks what time it is in Queensland. It is currently 7:41 p.m. 7:41 p.m. So while we're waiting there for Jason Bourne to... Oh, there he is. Got in between Vobsy and the title. Sounds better. Thank you. I'll try and remember that. All right. So we'll do this announcement video, and then we'll come back and we'll give a shout out to the All-Stars before this game kicks off. All right. Congratulations, Jason Bourne, for getting in between Vobsy and the title, which does still sound a little bit sus, but a lot better than what I came out with. All right.
Jason Bourne, just want to give you a huge congratulations on your win. It's hard fought. You've worked hard for it. It's been a long year, and to finish on top of the table, it's huge. So congratulations, mate. I know you're a huge Eels supporter as well, and I want to say thank you so much for the support. But congratulations again, and go the Eels.
Ah, poor old miserable bugger. It wasn't a happy weekend for the Parramatta Eels, though. That's for sure. All right, so now over to the All-Stars, the Waste of Water Sports All-Stars. Thank you very much, each and every one of you. Mr. Ed's Dead, Gamer Mel, Aussie Mozzie, Jason Bourne as well, of course, Arcade Angel, Bazarb, Andrew O'Grady, Hamish McKenzie, and Who's Your Caddy? I think I got everybody there. Thank you very much for your memberships and super chats and all your support to the channel, being part of our All-Stars squad. And don't forget, for those of you who weren't able to join us last night, we're doing a bi-weekly vodcast series, my dad and I, the Old Panther and Dan Intox. Generations vodcast, bi-weekly. We'll be talking about all kinds of stuff from the past, present, and beyond. Generations Vodcast. That's a new thing that we'll be doing here on the Wasted Water Sports as the channel continues to grow, and we aim to bring you more content in return for the support. So keep an eye out for that. The first one was last night, of course, so do feel free to check that out on replay if you would like to. And if you've got any topics that you would like to hear the Old Panther discuss from the NRL times past, do feel free to let us know as well. Leave a comment on the previous video, perhaps, and we'll cover it off in the next episode. So yes, the Old Panther. So what have we got coming up tonight? Of course, we have coming up the Cowboys versus the Sharks, a game that has serious repercussions on the final series. Serious. Both teams have a lot to play for here tonight. The Cowboys need to keep touch with the top 8. The Sharks are mathematically, though I think very unrealistically, would still be a chance of a top 4 spot should the Warriors and or the Melbourne Storm falter, which I don't think is going to happen, but at least it's a much better position than we were, say, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, we were talking about the possibility of the Sharks missing out altogether, and the Cowboys were rampaging up the table, looking certainties for a top 8 finish, and probably potentially being the team that knocks the Sharks out of the 8. And now here we are, 3 weeks later. How quickly it can all turn around. The Sharks have found some form, and the Cowboys have been a little bit miserable. Vobsy says Sharks win, Storm lose. Sharks go into 4th. So there you go, all to play for. Unfortunately for the Sharks, I still say their big dilemma is going to be the fact that they're playing the Raiders in the last game of the season, the last game of the round robins. A terrible, terrible record against the Raiders. And if they go into that last round requiring a win to stay in the top 8 against a team that they really have trouble with in recent years, 9 of the last games, I believe, 9 or 10 of the last games the Raiders have won in a row against the Sharks. Shack of Hearts also says Cowboys win plus Rabbitohs loss equals 8th seed. Jason Bourne's cracking himself up. I'll have to see what that's all about. Sharks win, Knights win, Dolphins win, Bulldogs win, is Vobsy's predictions. I'm not tipping the... Hey, I am never tipping the Bulldogs ever again. I've given up on them. I have been talking up the potential of the Bulldogs for like the past 3 seasons now. I give up. Shack of Hearts says also, Dan, it's happening next week. The Broncos are finally leaving Queensland and they have the Raiders in Canberra. And they'll be leaving Queensland, well and truly leaving Queensland next year, won't they? One of the 4 teams picked for... Matt Moylan was left out of the huddle. He had to push his way in. Oh, that's fantastic. The Raiders have been that sort of team this year, haven't they? The Raiders have been the sort of team where they might just stick it to the Broncos. They've been terrible in recent weeks against everybody else, but they might just randomly get up for this one match. Oh, here we go. The teams are getting ready to come out onto the field. I'm a little bit nervous about this one, but this should be a cracking game, in theory. Oh, God. Well, now I've gone and spoilt it, haven't I? I've talked the game up. Home ground advantage. I know that the stat is rolling around that the Sharks have not lost at this ground. I do also ask the question, how many times have they played there? That's something we need to try and suss out before we get too excited about that statistic. And also, it's Taumalolo's 200th game or 250th game. It's Taumalolo's something. He's got a milestone game. And you know what I say about milestone games. The team with the milestone, especially at home, do have a tendency to get through, don't they? And here he comes. He's brought... Oh, you got to appreciate that. He's walking his dog out onto the field. Taumalolo. $250th. There you go. 250th NRL game for Jason Taumalolo. Walking his dog out onto the park. That's fantastic. And now Chad Townsend leads the home team out behind him. That might be the first time I've ever seen that. Running a dog out onto the field. That's impressive. Oh, it'd be hilarious if the dog just went and took a big dump in the middle of the field. That's actually happened in the local. Maybe there's a topic. Someone remind me in the Next Generation's vodcast to ask my dad about the Logan City Scorpions and the day that the dog took a dump by the right... Where was it? It was the right-hand corner, right in front of the touch and goal post. Well, Vobsy says, was he walking out Chad Townsend? Oh, that's right. The Paul Green medal, Cowboys vs Sharks, honouring Paul Green. Paul Green, he was a very successful Shark as well. Obviously didn't win a premiership with them, but yes, I've got his autograph somewhere on some of my Sharks merchandise. Taumalolo's headed for the Bulldogs, is he? Well, there you go. I did not know that. Oh, or are we only joking? Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Oh, we're underway. Here we go. What a massive, massive game this is. Cowboys, Sharks. The Sharks get us underway. And the home team will have first use of the ball. Come on, an update, NRL. The game's begun. Where are you? Timeout, Vobsy, for false information. Falsifying information. Oh, dear. Cowboys, very solid in their first set. Only 38 metres gained, though, so the Sharks are very solid defensively as well. Rabbitohs fan 03, what do you think about Jack Whiten going to Souths? Well, you're a Rabbitohs fan, you tell me, mate. I think a waste of money, personally. What say you? Are Rabbitohs fans excited at the prospect of Jack Whiten running around? I wouldn't be. Oh, where's my multi? I do have a multi on today's game. There we go. Let's see how that goes. Mulatalo, Ramian, Drinkwater, and Felt. The Sharks, the kick on halfway from Trindle. Down the throat of Valame, but he falls as he takes it. And both teams have started this. This is finals footy. It's got that finals feel about it. And I mean early finals, because neither one of these teams are going to go very deep into the playoffs, I must admit. Rabbitohs fan, is it weird that I'm from New Zealand and go for the Rabbitohs? Not at all. I'm not really a big believer of just because you're from New Zealand, you have to go for the Warriors. Or just because I live in Brisbane, I have to go for the Broncos. You go for who you go for. And that's all fair. Vobsy asked, these guys played each other week 1 of the finals last season, right? Absolutely right. And the Sharks bombed something like an 8-point lead, which, understandably, 8 points is not a lot, necessarily, in rugby league. But they bombed the lead and lost in Golden Point, I believe. And then they got bundled out the next week with their second chance by the Sharks without really firing a shot. They've got some shape out to the left here, though, the Sharks. Talakai up over halfway on tackle 5. Both teams very solid in attack and defense. Just going through their sets, set for set. The battle resumes now. Drinkwater almost finding some space between Wade Graham and Connor Tracy. Wade Graham has a tendency sometimes to be a bit of a lazy defender. So if there's a channel that they should be targeting, definitely down there. But not a whole lot to speak of so far. Both teams very solid. No mistakes. Good defense. Just going set for set and getting through their work. A very good start. Both teams, I should imagine, will be quite happy with how things are proceeding so far. 5th and last for the Cowboys. This is their best opportunity for an attacking kick of some sorts. How's the kick chase? Mulatalo takes it in the face of the rampaging Peter Hiku. And the Sharks can bring it out from territory now. Again, solid from both teams. Solid attack, solid defense. Rabbitohs fan 03 is going for a Brisbane Souths grand final. Well, everyone here knows what I think about the prospects of the Broncos. I just don't think the Broncos have got another gear left to go to. Souths have obviously got several gears left because they're not playing too well at the moment. The Panthers are just running along in second gear. The Storm, they've got improvement in them. I just don't think the Broncos have got it. The Broncos are playing well, don't get me wrong. I just don't think they can play any better than they already are. Where is the Broncos' next gear going to come from that you need to find when you get into the finals? And here is the... oh, no. I thought I heard the referee's whistle and I thought, here's the first penalty of the game. But no, he was just blowing time up and telling everybody to retreat a little bit. Oh, because maybe somebody a couple of chats up from you asked about it. Jeez. See, Broncos fans get so butthurt every time you mention anything about them. Maybe it was brought up in the chat room. Therefore, shared my opinion on a sports opinion piece of sorts. I don't know what this is. Michelle, you missed Jason Bourne's shout out at the start of the stream. We got another misery guts. An absolutely miserable Clint Gutherson. Oh, you did see it. Well, there you go. Yeah, we are getting some miserable NRL players, aren't we? Now some shape out to the left for the Sharks. Tracy puts on a step way too early. Trendall puts it high. The kick chase almost non-existent though, but the Sharks at least hold a line. A nice straight line. Well, one thing about me, I think most people would agree on is I certainly don't have a problem with admitting when I'm wrong. What the Broncos are copying this season, the Cowboys were copying last season. They dumped my team out in the final. Well, they beat my team in week 1 of the finals, which essentially dumped them out. Credit where credit is due at the end of the day, but I'm going to talk a lot of smack on the way there. As the first penalty of the game does indeed go to the home team. And finally, there is something to display on the scoreboard there. And the Cowboys will get the first opportunity. It's the Sharks that have blinked first. There's 2 balls on the field. Well, there's a lot of balls on the field, I should imagine. 2 footballs on the field. Rabbitohs Fan 03, this is indeed in Townsville. And it is Taumalolo's 250th game. Oh, they've got numbers to the left here, the Cowboys, but they cut back in field. The Sharks just number up and slide across in time to force the Cowboys into second-guessing that left-hand edge. But they persist. Dearden puts the early kick in. Katoa has read it well and gets back there. He's under the pump, though, Katoa. Oh, he slips under a couple of tackles and stays in the field of play. Sione Katoa, take a bow. Not only to read that kick from so far ahead of the play, I think he knew Dearden was going to kick that ball before Dearden did. Amazing stuff there from Katoa. And then to get back in the field of play, impressive. But the Cowboys have just won the momentum here off the back of that penalty. Sharks finding it difficult to release from territory. Forced into chancing their arm out wide. And now Hines is sacked by Hiku. And that's the 5th and last. They've only made 30 metres. Back to Trindle kicking from his own 30-metre line. And it is straight down the throat of Drinkwater. Takes it on the full. And the Cowboys have just edged themselves ahead here. No penalties will be the name of the game now for the Sharks. As the Cowboys get up towards halfway on tackle 3. Both teams defending extremely well. Oh, don't get me started on that, Rabbitohs fan. I try not to upset too much by saying it, but honestly, I think I even asked some Warriors supporters about it on stream one time. I'm like, what is the deal with the Wars thing? The Wars thing sounds ridiculous. Talakai bringing it forward now. Connor Crowley is this match on TV. It's on Foxtel. It's on KO Sports. I don't know if it's on free-to-air TV. And now the Sharks win a penalty. Too slow to get up there. Oh, they've tapped and gone quickly. Nico Hines, the tap and go. There you go. Thank you, Game ML. It's on Channel 9. It's also on our Discord channel as well, funnily enough. Oh, I thought the quick tap was definitely not the option there. But Hines, he took the chance, and the Sharks now, they could get their first proper attacking kick away at the end of this set. Tracy just looking for inside runners. Finds Ramian. UFC, ahoy mate. Hines, dummies must surrender or fear of giving away an obstruction penalty. Fifth and last. Trindle is on the short side. Trindle is kicking a lot better than Hines. Look at all that traffic. And now it's an offside play by the Cowboys. It falls for Talakai. Talakai will score, but we need to go upstairs and have a look. Everybody stopped there. We need to have a look at what went on exactly. We're looking for a touch from Wade Graham. Oh, trust Wade Graham to get in there and ruin it. So Drinkwater, he was looking comfortable under this ball. Then he takes his eye off the ball, has a sneaky look at Wade Graham. And it looks like it has hit Wade Graham, actually. Iron Mike, ahoy mate. Cowboys for the win. Wade Graham trying to fight his way through all the traffic there. It has hit him square in the chest and goes forward. Has it now touched Drinkwater? Well, it's hit his chest. Well, it's hit his shoulder. Well, it's hit his shoulder. Anyway, slightly confusing call there. Very confusing ruling there. Oh, it's on now. So, no, that try went up as no try. It's been deemed to be a knock-on off Wade Graham's shoulder blade. And now a penalty out of territory. And now it's on. Wade Graham has some push and shove with Peter Hiku, is it? Peter Hiku was probably letting him know about that knock-on a couple of plays earlier. And that is the last thing they needed there, the Sharks, to have a try disallowed and then give away a penalty. The Cowboys fighting to come out of territory. They start this set 40 meters out. And I'm not exactly sure what that penalty was for either. Couple of questionable calls here going the way of the home team. Up over halfway, early in the tackle count. Ruben Cotter takes it down on tackle 3. They've got good shape out to the left, but they cut back in field. Leilua, nowhere to go. He's chopped down. They're stacked on this short side again here, the Cowboys, and Drinkwater will go straight through. Drinkwater will score the first try, and that is the first leg of my multi done. And that was just a little bit too easy. The Sharks, they have a tendency to do this. They have a tendency to just go off the boil when a couple of questionable calls don't go their way. They drop their heads. Championship teams do not drop their heads just because something hasn't gone their way. And that was just way too simple there. Way too easy. And this could be a big, big night for the Cowboys if they're going to get through that easy. Who was that? Toby Rudolph. There's a leg of the multi done, though, on the plus side. Four points to nil to the home team. 26 and a half minutes to go until the halftime. I can't believe it's only been 13 minutes gone. 13 minutes gone in this game. It feels like it's gone for so much longer. Rabbitohs fan 03 had Drinkwater as first try scorer. Good job. Very good job. Shack of Hearts says, bit unnecessary for Hiku to shove Graham. I don't want to put Hiku on the spot. It might not have actually been him. But yes, it was unnecessary. Whichever one of the Cowboys, if indeed it was Peter Hiku, it was unnecessary, whoever it was, for that shove after the penalty. I mean, honestly, if I'm Wade Graham, I'd probably just turn around and laugh at him as well, rather than blowing up. Because if you blow up, you're just giving them exactly what they want, isn't it? Will says Iron Mike be changing his prediction 20 times tonight. I reckon his prediction will be spot on. Well, if he changes it 20 times over the course of the 80 minutes, he's got a good chance of being right. Conversion successful from right in front, unsurprisingly so. And it is the Cowboys out to the early 6-0 lead. Sharks get us back underway. Townsend looking for a runner. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if Townsend took the first hit up? Head down, run it up. Chad. And the Sharks have just got to be very careful here. These are the moments where the Sharks typically give games away. They really, really start to self-destruct. Rabbitohs fan, I'm pretty sure they still have City vs. Country matches, but it is nowhere near the spectacle that it used to be. City vs. Country used to be, if I'm not mistaken, this would be a question for the old Panther on the next vodcast. But I'm pretty sure City vs. Country used to be all the elite top-level players playing for New South Wales Blues selection. They still have it, but it's absolutely not that anymore. It's all the fringe players. Sharks with the ball. They're going to kick on tackle 4 here. Trindle from inside the 40. Looking for a 40-20, is he? But the Cowboys are back there. Just the early kick. Looking for distance. J. Joe, ahoy, mate. How you doing? Welcome along. As the Cowboys lead this one early. 16 minutes in. 6 points to nil. And now they're just busting upfield. Oh, and it spills it forward, does Dearden. Dearden spills it forward. Katoa swoops on the loose ball. Can't get away from Ruben Cotter. But that is a 0 tackle. And the Sharks, here is an opportunity. Very flat-footed, though. Look at all the forwards from the Sharks. Hands on heads. Hands on hips. Come on, boys. 16 minutes into the game. Get amongst it. Toby Rudolph standing there with his hands on his head. Hamlin Uele standing in back play with his hands on hips. It's only 16 minutes old, this game. Rudolph with the offload to Brayley. Brayley to Trindle. Trindle changing direction. Dummies. Tries to step through on his own. Nowhere to go. Tackle 3. They're 20 out from the line, though, importantly here, the Sharks. They've been given an opportunity to fight back into this contest. Hamlin Uele, he was just standing in back play moments ago. Hands on hips. Brayley from dummy half slips, otherwise it was on there. They get a 6 again anyway. He's done enough there, Brayley, to earn the 6 again. Jeez, he's a quality player, Brayley. He's so good, they'll probably send him to the Warriors, like they did Metcalf. We've got a high shot here. A high shot on Nikora. Come on, just get up and play it. It's tackle 2. A penalty here is not really that valuable. We're not going to take the 2 anyway, surely. The Sharks have been completely under the pump. This is one situation where I would actually support not taking the 2 points. No penalty coming their way anyway. Hines to Hamlin Uele, bumps off the first. They come at him again and put him down. 10 metres out from the line here, the Sharks on tackle 3. Over to the left is Hines. Tracy steps through, fires it over the top to Mulatalo. Oh, has Mulatalo put his hand in touch? It wouldn't surprise me, the great big galoot. It's going up as a try, but geez, we've seen Mulatalo butcher some tries this season. I'm not going to put the tick on the multi just yet because I want to see that left hand. I want to see where that left hand is. Connor Tracy, though, setting that up. Oh, it's well up. Okay, I'm putting the tick in. 2 legs of the multi down. Nice and early. A quarter of the game gone, 2 down. That's what you like to see. 6 points to 4. Kick to come. The Sharks have hit back. And that is purely on Connor Tracy. A great individual effort. He made Peter Hiku look foolish there. Oh, Vobsy, from that top shot, that high camera angle behind him, it looked for sure like his hand was down over the sideline, didn't it? But when you see every other angle, he was nowhere near it. Mulatalo and Drinkwater off the multi. We're halfway there. Come on. I'm due for another multi-win. Obi, ahoy mate, how are you going? Hines from the sideline. I hope he's been practicing his kicking. He moves in, he strikes it, he hooks it way too far. Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay. I'm seeing things. It's gone straight through. Hines has been practicing his goal kicking, and we are all square. 6 points all. I wonder how Andrew O'Grady's going. I honestly thought that he might jump in and claim his co-hosting rights for this one. Maybe the poor fella got so damaged after the last Sharks Cowboys game, he didn't want to risk it. Back underway. Only 20 minutes gone in this game. I scared him, or the fact that his team got beaten by 50 odd points or whatever it was that night. Oh, Brayley from dummy half again. Charging upfield. The Sharks have got a little bit of momentum. Fifth and last, back in Cowboys territory. Hines is on the right-hand side. No, Hines, give it to Trindle. Let's let Trindle do all the kicking, shall we? One thing about Nico, I will say, his kicking and general play is fairly miserable. You've got Braden Trindle out there. Use him. That is just gifting possession back. A nothing kick. That's what we had to put up with Chad for so many years. Now the Chad is the Cowboys' problem. Oh, and they're up a little bit too quickly here. And again, The Sharks just asking the Cowboys, inviting them back into territory. No, I don't want to swap. I'm just suggesting take his kicking card away from him. In general play. General play kicks, Nico? No. Don't do it. Even if Trindle has been tackled, don't do it. 2 balls on the field again. My God, the bloody ball kids aren't doing their job tonight. And that is a fantastic kick upfield by the Cowboys. They're starting this set 30 out from the Sharks line. They could go straight back into the lead here. Scattered defense of the Sharks. There's a huge gap back in field. The midfield gaps. Oh, the Sharks are slow to cover it. They're finally there in numbers now. But geez, if Dearden looks up, changes direction there, the Sharks were absolutely shot to pieces in the middle. Townsend. He's noticed it, Townsend. He's running back across field. Now they've got the overlap to the right. Here for the corner goes Valemei and scores. And once more, just way too easy. And it was the change of direction I called on the last play. Dearden didn't see it. The Chad, credit where credit is due, the Chad saw it and took full advantage of it. He drew them in, he numbered them up, and he put Valemei away in the corner. Dan Jam, ahoy mate, how are you going? Oh, Dan Jam, I'm so excited for the Rugby World Cup coming up. Cannot wait. Unfortunately, some of the games are going to be at just ridiculous hours for me. Valemei. Jeez, if that had have just been over the other side of the field for Kyle Felt, if I'm going into half-time with 3 legs of my multi ticked off, how good. And there it was, 1 play later, after I called the Sharks looking very thin in the middle. Oh, how good, Dan Jam, was that England versus Wales match? I didn't stream it, but I did sit up and watch it. See, that's the sort of game that here in the Southern Hemisphere, as Drinkwater from the sideline converts right down the middle, and the Cowboys, they put their lead back out to 6. Oh, that was absolutely beautiful, Captain Redbeard. Absolutely beautiful. I had just been dissing the Chad about his general play kicks. I think he heard me. He's like, check this out, Dan. I don't need to kick. I can run. I'm running like it's 2016 all over again. But that's the sort of game, Dan Jam, that here in the Southern Hemisphere they call boring. I enjoyed it. It was a good, tough, hard-fought, low-scoring contest. A battle of attrition. And England, what's his name? Itoje? Is that his name? Itoje. What a unit. What a bloody unit, Itoje. Monster. Will ask, what's my read on the game in terms of potential outcome at this stage? Very concerned about the Sharks defensively. Very concerned because I have... Dearden puts it in behind the line, bounces kindly at the back for Tracy. I had said... just the play before, Dearden ran down the short side, and I said there are holes galore in the midfield for the Sharks. If Dearden switches direction, they're done and they score. Dearden didn't see it. But Chad, who was over the far side of the field as that was happening, he probably noticed. As any good halfback does, he probably noticed, because the very next play, Chad, over the opposite side of the field, change of direction, skips all the way across the face of the defence, puts his outside men away, taking advantage of those huge gaps that opened up. The guys from the outside had to move in to cover it. Chad saw all that unfold. Dearden didn't see it as he was running the ball up. Fair enough. But Chad saw it, took full advantage of it. And if the Sharks don't fix that up at half-time, we could be looking at a very comprehensive scoreline. Because the Cowboys are a smart enough team, if something works, you keep going back to it. If it works, keep going back to it until it stops working. And they'll just tear the Sharks to shreds in midfield. They'll go straight through the middle, or they will draw the outside defenders in and skin them on the outside. It could be a long night for the Sharks. Cowboys are just dominating, from what I can see, in territory. Most of this half has been on the Sharks side of halfway, even if it hasn't been in complete attacking range. Most of the game so far has been definitely in the Sharks' half. So, as a Sharks supporter, very, very concerning signs. Could be a long old night. But that being said, also, the Sharks have taken the one opportunity that they've had. We've had one opportunity, realistically. I mean, the Talakai try, that would have been a little bit of luck. You take it. You take it if it happens. But it would have been a little bit of luck. One real opportunity, and they've taken it. So that's a promising thing. But they're going to need more than just one opportunity to the Cowboys, 4 or 5, if they want to win the game. 12 points to 6 it is, though. 26 and a half minutes gone. Townsend. He tries the dummy this time, the Chad. Oh, elbow to the face. I'm pretty sure that's 3 weeks and a send-off. Dearden's going to kick on tackle 4. It's a way too heavy there from Dearden. And that will be a 7-tackle set for the Sharks. And will this present an opportunity at the back end of it? "12 minutes to go until half-time. Picked up and dumped in the tackle is Katoa. Moving up towards halfway now, the Sharks. Tackle 3. Now, out to the right. They've got numbers if they can get it out there. Katoa does manage to skip around Felt, but they come back at him, force the Sharks back in field, where it potentially opens up for McInnes. Fires it out to Graham. They've got space here, the Sharks. Graham back to Trindle. Trindle calls Mulatalo to cut back in field, and they are shut down on tackle 4. Talakai charging forward now. 5th and last, the Sharks, 10 out. Here is their second opportunity. They've gone 1 from 1 so far. Short ball to Hazelton, and Hazelton is caught a metre shy of the try line. Great defense, Cowboys. Leilua. Who else was involved there? Cotter. And Cotter is straight off the field after that as well. But there we go. The Sharks, when they get close enough, they're looking threatening. But they're just not getting close enough, often enough. The Cowboys are dominating territory. That's the key difference at the moment. And when they get down the other end, they're scoring way too easily. My view on seltzers. Bobsy says attack looks good, but defense win games. That's been the problem for the Sharks all season long, hasn't it? That's been the problem for the Sharks the past couple of seasons. Oh, now Connor Tracy looking for space on the outside. Mulatalo back in field, beats the first tackle. This is a great kick return. No, I'm Googling seltzer. A new kind of light alcoholic drinks that have quickly become famous all around the globe. Sparkling flavored waters. What is in a seltzer? Seltzer, the popular carbonated liquid that has been around for ages, is also known as sparkling water. Ah, no wonder I haven't heard of it. Now the Sharks back in range, 5th and last, 10 out. Right in front of the post. Brayley from dummy half. Hazelton goes again. Hazelton will score. The Sharks are back in it. Hazelton. Oh, he wasn't being stopped that time. Brayley spotting the space from dummy half again. He is a really underrated player. We should put together a team of underrated players. Brayley's going to be in there for sure. Leilua misses Hazelton in the first up tackle this time. And right under the sticks, Hazelton, a gift conversion. Falls into the upright, plants the ball down for the try. Hazelton, what an immense effort that was. 12 points to 10. Kick to come. The Sharks, they're hanging in. The attack, when they're in range, is fine. The defense is the concern. Try has been confirmed. And we're about to be locked up again going into halftime. We thought this was going to be a good game. We thought we'd put the mocker on it as well. Good to see. It's coming to fruition so far. Hines from right in front. There we go. 12 points all. Michelle says, was discussing the lack of originality for English team names last night. The Lions, Lionesses, they have like 4 teams, each gender named that half. Chuggy, stop it. That was last night. Buddy Chuggy. $12 points apiece. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go till the halftime break. The penalty, Sharks. Up inside the 10. That will bring the Sharks out of territory very nicely. They start this set just inside Cowboys territory. Talakai with the first hit up. See, if you're going to use Talakai in this way, just put him back in the forwards, for goodness sake. Honestly. I'll catch you later, Gamer Mel. Thanks for swinging by. Oh, breaking away from the first up tackle. It's Royce Hunt. Royce Hunt gets up and goes again. It's been kicked out of his hands. Billy Slater style. It's been kicked out of his hands, Billy Slater style. The try has still been awarded. I thought you weren't allowed to kick the ball out. Hang on, I need to see that in replay because I was half saying goodbye to Game of Mel, half had an eye on the game. I thought Royce Hunt had been tackled. Brayley again from dummy half. Royce Hunt bumps off Drinkwater. Beats. Oh, he's up and he goes again. He was not held. And he plants it down. And no, that was not a Billy Slater kick by Jake Granville, to be fair. He was just swinging around trying to make the tackle. But Royce Hunt, he's broken through 3 of them. Not a single player was able to hold on to him. And he gets up and goes again. And the Sharks have just gone back to back. Almost. Pretty much. I mean, back to back in terms of try scoring sequence. I agree, Vobsy. You can't possibly go for the Broncos and then at the same time be saying bloody Queenslanders. Mind you, the Broncos' success at the moment is off the back of a blue. Adam Reynolds. Hines from right beside the post will convert. And the Sharks are ahead for the first time in the game. 18 points to 12. Royce Hunt and Hazelton, the 2 forwards. See, that is where I thought the Sharks were really, really behind the Cowboys, was in the forwards. But Royce Hunt, Hazelton, they've just stepped up and gone, you think we're going to play second string to these guys? No way. We're in this fight. Uno, ahoy mate, up the Sharkies. They've got some momentum behind them here, the Sharks. $18 points to 12 ahead. Hazelton feeds it on to Nikora. Tackle 3, Sharks. Hunt, the try scorer. Oh, bobbling the ball, and there is the mistake. 4 minutes to go to the halftime break. They've just said, Cowboys, here you go. We would love to be all square at halftime. We would love nothing more than to make life difficult on ourselves. There is the first mistake of the game. Crazy to think that is actually the first. I believe that's the first incomplete set of the Sharks all game. It's taken 37 minutes, essentially. That's amazing. The Sharks' first incomplete set, and what a horrible time for it to eventuate, because they have just invited the Cowboys straight back into this to tie it up again. 10 out from the line now, Chad. Calls runners back on the inside. Drinkwater's looking for number 2. Almost breaks away. It's the 5th and last. God, that was quick. And now the kick, once again, way too heavy. Oh, and they've escaped there, the Sharks. What a huge let-off. The Cowboys were invited back, and they said, no, thank you. We're not interested. Not just yet. Uno says you just need Ramian and Kyle to score. Absolutely, and we've got a whole half for it to happen. Fingers crossed. That's a big multi, that one. Back into Cowboys territory they go here, the Sharks. 2 minutes to go till the break. Oh, Talakai has just passed it to the invisible man. I didn't know John Cena played for the Sharks. Talakai has just passed it to literally no one. And what a let-off now from the Cowboys. And this game just starts to get a little bit scrappy. As we approach the halftime break, players starting to get tired. The mistakes creeping in from both sides. And now it spills out from the Cowboys. It's knocked forward, though, by the Sharks. And now a double knock on. Valame loses it forward. First knock on, though, by the Sharks. A minute and a half to go until the halftime break. Scrum down. Cowboys. And this has just become a very scrappy game. Very scrappy game all of a sudden. Jason Bourne says, speaking of WWE, did we see Jey Uso walk off and quit the WWE? Yes, we did. All part of storyline, mind you. But, yes, very. Because he's got to go get an injury fixed up. But, yes, I love what's happening in WWE with the bloodline at the moment. We have been meaning to do more WWE streams, Ricky G and I, but they're just on so goddamn early, aren't they? So early they're on. It makes it so difficult, especially if I'm streaming the footy. The Cowboys have gone straight through. Drinkwater looking for support. He's got support from Valame, and Valame cuts back in field and is just chopped down. Desperation, goal line defense, 6 again, but that it doesn't matter. There's only 30 seconds left. Numbers out to the left here. Dearden will run across the face of the defense, trying to keep the ball alive. Inside the last 30 seconds. 10 out. Cowboys. Can they strike right before the break? They can't, because the Chad has dropped it cold. Right in front of the post, the Chad doing Chad things. And the Sharks survive. Oh, Boyd, we need a big break at halftime. This game is living up to expectations. The Sharks' defense looking as fragile as ever, but geez, they scrambled well. And they hold on, and they go into the halftime break here. The Cronulla Sharks, 18 points to 12. Oh, wow. What a frantic first half. This has been great so far. Very much enjoying the game so far. Wasted World of Sports leaderboard. Jason Bourne out there in front. Coming into this stream, I don't know what the live leaderboard is, but coming into this stream, he was ahead. And he was at top of the table for long periods of the last time out as well. So, Michelle, check this out. Check out a very miserable Clint Gutherson.
Jason Bourne, just want to give you a huge congratulations on your win. It's hard fought. You've worked hard for it. It's been a long year, and to finish on top of the table, it's huge. So, congratulations, mate. I know you're a huge Eels supporter as well, and I want to say thank you so much for the support. But congratulations again, and go the Eels.
Oh wow! What we need is that one and the Brendan Smith one side by side, and we need to make a poll, and we need to ask who was the most miserable. Who was the most miserable? Fletch was brilliant. Fletch was fantastic. But Cheese and Clint Gutherson, they really, really didn't want to do it at all. Hey, look, I understand. I understand they didn't want to do it. Fair enough. But credit to them for doing it at the same time. I mean, it's all for charity, so. We are charity cases. Cheese was... No, I don't know. Cheese at least made it funny. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Cheese kind of made it funny in his own way, but poor old Gutho was just like, I mean, they got tonked on the weekend, and he's just Anyway, halftime here. Oh, before I go, shout out to the Waste of Water Sports All-Stars. Thank you very much. Mr. Ed's Dead on the Patreon. Andrew O'Grady on the Patreon. Channel members, Gamer Mel, Who's Your Caddy, and Aussie Mozzie. And to our Super Chat donators, Arcane Angel, Jason Bourne, Hamish McKenzie, and Bazarb. Thank you very much, each and every one of you, for your support of the Waste of Water Sports and everything that we're doing here. Speaking of everything that we're doing here, if you didn't catch it last night, because I understand last night was a terrible time to be going and launching something new. I mean, we did it at 7 o'clock, so there was still an hour to go until the Matildas game. But I completely understand Australia was soccer mad for one night only, and it was a horrible time to be launching a new show here on the Waste of Water Sports. So last night, if you didn't get a chance to check it out, do feel free to head over to the channel at some stage. I mean, not now, because we went for about 40 minutes, but after tonight, well, sometime, if you want to go check it out, Generations Vodcast, a new series that we're bringing you here on the Waste of Water Sports, where the old Panther and I just talk footy and sports in general, but mainly footy. Past, present, and future. And we had fun last night. Hope that you guys did as well. There'll definitely be more of those coming up in the future, and hopefully at a time that's not clashing with a potentially once-in-a-lifetime Australian sports opportunity, such as the Matildas being in the semi-finals, was it? Semi-finals or whatever it was. But, anyways, it was all good. It was fun regardless. And we did give you guys plenty of time to skip out and support the Matildas. All right, I'm going to have myself a quick break here for halftime. We will be back for all the second half action after this. Wasted Water Sports, 18-12 here in favour of the Sharkies. Oh, Will. Will, you absolute legend. Doing that while I was away. Cheeky. But cheers, mate. Very much appreciated. Will, next stream, as much as it's going to pain me to put a Broncos jersey there on the All-Star squad. It was funny, we were talking about that last night. Who have we got over there on Twitch? Oh, spam. Okay, never mind. We were talking about that. We were talking about that on the stream last night. Generations. And oh yeah, I was discussing very, very briefly at one point there in the Generations vodcast about how the teams that I dislike change from season to season, and they even change throughout the course of the season, because we remember just how much I really, really hated last year the Cowboys, how much I hated last year the Raiders, and this year how much I hated the Rabbitohs at the start. Now I don't really care about it. And now I hate the Knights. The Knights are my most hated team in the competition by far after the other weekend. They can go to hell. Vobsy says Rabbits will forever be a team that I hate a lot. Actually, maybe not. Jason Bourne says, I wonder what Dan would do for a $200 super chat. Well, I'm not allowed to get naked because it's YouTube. But we could certainly organise some private material. Okay. Now that I've just scared off everybody. Oh, I should have got more Coke while I was out there. Iron Mike says, got my prediction right. Matilda's 1, England 3. Now, I have to ask you a serious question here, Iron Mike. Was that your prediction from the very beginning, or did it change throughout the course of the game? I've been informed in the chat room that potentially you have a tendency to change your tips. Well, thank you so much for the super chat, mate. Don't worry, Will. You're safe. You're under the threshold of the juicy material, so you just get a very jolly good thanks and a mighty big cheers, and you get to be part of the Waste of Water Sports All-Star squad. Oh, hello. How are you doing? Oh, someone's been a little sick today, haven't they, huh? Someone's been a little bit sick. Are you feeling better now, though, hey? You feeling better now? Oh. Oh, what? You super chat $2? What, tonight? Hang on. Tonight, you mean? I didn't see that. Will stole the spotlight. Ah. Oh, hey, are you going on about the shot still? Was that just now, was it? Oh. So now you've put me up to... You've asked if I've done the last 2 shots, and now you've put me up to 4? Oh, cheers, Jason. I'm sorry, mate. I was away. I was resting my voice and sorry. But cheers. Cheers, Jason Bourne. Big Jason Bourne, as Gutho called you. That was probably the best part of the video, to be honest. Ahoy, Big Jason Bourne. But yeah, sorry about that. I didn't see or hear anything because I was monstering it up in the other room. Oh, come on now. That's a bit rough. It's okay. I'm used to you ignoring me and not acknowledging me in the chat. We have had private Discord conversations. Huh? Not many people can say that. Come on now. You know I love you. Oh, look at him hammered up in the chat room. Gotta love it. Oh, by the way, speaking of Discord chats, she's okay. I mean, everything is not okay, but she is alive and well and okay. I'm assuming you know who I'm talking about. Teams coming back out now for the second half. 18 points to 12 in favor of the Sharks here. Iron Mike says, go Cowboys. This is still very much anybody's contest. Very crucially for the Cowboys, as they get us back underway for the second half. Very crucially for the Cowboys is they'll be playing the Panthers. Oh, a mistake! A mistake from the kickoff. There was pressure on the Sharks leading into halftime. The pressure is immediately back on them here. Trindle with the offload, and Royce Hunt spills the ball cold. 30 seconds into the second half, and here we are. The Cowboys, a full set of 6, 10 out from the Sharks line. What an absolute gift. A scrum down midfield, 10 out. And the Sharks have just thrown it all away 30 seconds into the second half. Unbelievable. They should take a drop goal, Cowboys, just for fun. Set restart. Get back into the game via 6 drop goals. Oh, look at the numbers to burn out to the right. Drinkwater tries to go on his own, though. The support runners, to be fair, a little bit slow keeping up with him. They would have actually lost ground if he tried to pass to them, in fairness. Now the ball spills forward, and the Cowboys have coughed it up. Griffin Neame. Peter Griffin Neame spills the ball, and the Sharks are off the hook again. They just keep inviting the Cowboys back into this contest, and the Cowboys just keep saying, you know what? We're good. But anyway, as I was saying, right when that half kicked off, the benefit for the Cowboys is they've got the Panthers in the last round. The Panthers are going to be resting players because they'll already have the minor premiership sewn up at that point. So they'll be resting players. I think the Cowboys beat the Panthers in the last round of the regular season. Sharks, though, focusing on this game. Trying to get on the outside of Dearden and Leilua, but cannot. And that's tackle 3. Neither side has completed a set in the second half so far. No, Robert M., I'm pretty certain that the Panthers are playing the Cowboys in the last round. Katoa picks up the loose ball on tackle 4. Gets the offload away, Katoa. And it's a penalty to the Cowboys. And another failed set completion. Take the 2. Take the 2. Where's my goalposts? Take the 2. Yes, it was so good to see Robert M., the original statsman in the back. He was back last night for the Generations vodcast. Oh, now loose offload from the Cowboys. This has been a very sloppy old start to the second half. Sloppy seconds. Oh, God. All right. Somebody stop me if I don't stop myself. Ten metres out from the line here on tackle 4 in front of the post. The Cowboys. Chad tries to kick early and it falls to Trindle. Trindle tries to break away upfield. Just didn't have the pace to break away. Oh, the Chad doing Chad things. And once again, neither team asserting any authority over this second half. Some solid defense there from the Cowboys, though. Robert M. says, you're right, Dan, because we play the Storm, and I'm down for the Storm game. Yes, indeed. Broncos versus Storm in the last round. Michelle's going to love that game. Does anyone know where it's been played? Out of curiosity. 5th and last, Trindle puts it high. Drinkwater takes it. No threat at the back there. Suncorp. Thank you, Robert M. It's been a rolling joke of the season, Robert M. Suncorp. It feels like it's been the COVID years all over again. Cowboys through Peter Hiku. They're back in attacking range. Staying on the blind side. Dearden is lined up by Talakai and he's put down. 5th and last. They're 30 out from the Sharks line. The Chad puts it high, but it's nowhere near long enough. It's been lost forward by the Cowboys and Tracy picks it up. That'll be 0 tackle, I'm assuming. Oh, actually, we're going to come back for the knock-on. Yes, indeed. Shack of Hearts. I understand. But it's okay, Shack of Hearts. You have earned your stripes. You have earned your stripes fairly and squarely. No need to feel. Oh, Robert M suggests that instead of using the Gabba, they should have used ANZ Stadium. The Gabba's gone all right, though, hasn't it? In fairness. I mean, I haven't been to any of the games, but... Oh, Hines, inside pass to Tracy. They've nearly ghosted straight through there, the Sharks. 5th and last, Hines puts it high. The chase is a great one from Graham. And good support there from Talakai. And this is better stuff from the Sharks defensively. Leading by 6 points 8 minutes gone in the second half, almost 7.5 to be precise. Oh, and it spills forward in the tackle. The Cowboys have made the error. Sharks opportunity here. Hines running across field. Mulatalo now looking for the offload. It's scrappy. It might be a double knock on. No, he's held onto it there. Connor Tracy, 0 tackle for the Sharks. 40 out from the Cowboys line. Oh, the Cowboys, both teams really, have just fallen to pieces here to start the second half. What were those halftime talks like? I don't think either coach has got the halftime chat right. Hines now out to Nikora. The pass a little bit too far ahead of him, and that put him under a lot of pressure to take the ball. Does well to hold on to it in the face of the oncoming defense. Now Hunt gets it away. Brayley juggles, fires it off in field. Is Williams. Oh, it's scary when he gets the ball. Williams, you're just waiting for the mistake. They stay on the left here. Hines will put the kick through on tackle 4. It pops up for Wade Graham, and Wade Graham will score the try, and the Sharks will go even further ahead here. As long as Wade Graham has remained onside, this will be a try. Nico Hines with the vision. The bounce was perfect, and Wade Graham simply has to fall on it. And this messy old start to the second half has finally resulted in something for somebody. Hines with the little grubber kick through. It bounces up perfectly. Try has been confirmed. Shakafat says halftime chat was slather grease onto your hands and try to catch the ball. Or Chad, for the Chad, he was probably lathering grease into his hair so that he can film his podcast after the game. He's got to update his socials. $22 points to 12. The kick to come. It should be a fairly simple conversion from right beside the posts. Nico Hines hooks it around nicely. 24 points to 12. The Sharks with a little bit of a buffer. I'll be right back. $24 points to 12. Cowboys get us back underway. Sharks running out of territory. Can they get through this set? Important that they get through this set. Ah, look at that. An interesting stat there from Michelle saying that if the Sharks make the grand final, that would be Wade Graham's 300th game. Oh, well, there's not even really any point discussing that because it's not going to happen. But it would be, yeah, it's interesting to bring up. Fifth and last here for the Sharks, just in Cowboys territory. Trindle is a much better kicker in general play than Hines. It's got to be said. Nico Hines loses his kicking card in general play. And now the penalty. Oh, Kyle Feltnow has had a go. What's with the Cowboys tonight? Every time they get a penalty coming out of territory, the player lashes out with a shove at the Sharks. I wish he'd find his mojo with the boot as well. That's probably the main part of his game that's lacking at the moment. But at least Trindle's out there now. There's no Matt Moylan. Trindle's out there. So there is another kicking option. Opportunity knocking here for the Cowboys. They need to be the next to score. Drinkwater beats the first tackle. It's so intriguing, isn't it? These guys, like Drinkwater is not the biggest guy out there. Munster's not the biggest guy out there. Fifth and last now. Drinkwater fires the cutout pass across to Valame. Valame puts the head down. But they put him down. And they survive. Great goal line defense there from the Sharks. Oh, for the love of God, please get up, Trindle. Yes, he's up. Talakai, you can stay down. It's fine. Oh, no. If Talakai stays down, that means Moylan's coming on the field. No. Get up, Sofa. You're fine, mate. You can get through it. The last thing we need with this long left in the game and only a 12-point advantage is Matt Moylan anywhere near the footy field. I don't even want him on the stands. Oh, on the stands? In the stands, watching. Hey, who's that goof up on the roof? Goof on the roof. Ah, you've seen Elf on a Shelf. Now you've seen Goof on a Roof. Matt Moylan is up there on top of the grandstands. All right. Penalty to the Sharks. And they approach halfway. A very relieving penalty at that for the Sharks. It looks like Talakai's up and about him. Back play there. Great news for the Sharks. Not so much about Talakai, but just Matt Moylan's not getting anywhere near the pitch. He's still, like, favouring that shoulder there, Talakai, in back play. Sharks keep it alive. The offloads at the moment. The offload. Oh, Leilua has just lifted Tracy up and dumped him on the ground. Oh, no respect at all there, Leilua. And now the Sharks are dumped over the sideline. Big defense from the Cowboys. And for a team that's 12 points behind, the Cowboys are a little bit too hulkish there. Game in with Braden. Catch you later, mate. It's always funny watching teams arc up like that when they're so far behind. It's like, maybe choose your moments, guys. Choose your moments a little better. What am I agreeing with? What have I missed? Shack of Hearts has said Jason Bourne. Before that, there was one try scored. Before that, by Nathan Blacklock chipping over Joel Kane. Jason Bourne says no, Brett Mullins. Would you agree to that? Well, I still don't understand what I'm agreeing or disagreeing with. Fifth and last now, Cowboys. They're up to halfway. Back to the Chad. Chad plugs it into the corner. No real threat there. Tracy can return it. Takes the defense on. Head on. Welcome along there. VSXFTI. The Cowboys, ever since that tackle into touch, they hulked up. I questioned it, but in fairness, they do seem to have lifted since then. Fifth and last for the Sharks, just up to the halfway line. Hines puts it high. No pressure on the kick chase. But at least they're maintaining a solid line until Toby Rudolph just went racing up out of the line like a big goof. Good thing he made the tackle. Vopsy says, okay, before the Billy Slater kick and regather try in State of Origin, what was the most famous kick and regather try done by a player? Brett Mullins, would you agree? Oh, okay. What, in Origin? At Origin or in general? Oh, Connor Tracy's made a meal of it. Here's a chance for the Cowboys. Numbers out to, Peter Hiku. All he needed to do was give it. It's still on here, though. Oh, offside here. Sharks. Offside. Professional foul, surely. Jeez, they get away with that. I don't think you can do that, can you? Oh, there was no tackle. Yes, there was no tackle. He was perfectly entitled to do that. What about Billy Slater's? Oh, no, before the Billy Slater one. I was trying to make a funny about Billy Slater's knock-on kick that the bunker called. He drop-kicked it, and they gave him the try for it. But that's just saying Billy Slater again. And it wasn't. And it also wasn't before. It was much, much later on. Dearden goes for the line. He's just short. Pressure here for the Sharks. Don't you worry, Cowboys supporters. There is a long, long way left in this one. 21 minutes to go. In front of the post they are. Dearden starting to look very threatening. And a penalty now to the Cowboys. Taken without the ball in back play. Take the two. Take the two. Take the two. Take the two. Fire those posts into the chat room. I would obviously love it if they took the two. They don't, though. They tap and go. $24 points to 12. This is a chance now for the Cowboys. A full set of 6. 10 out from the line. They get in each other's way, and the play threatens to break down. Hiku runs in behind. Has to surrender. Plenty of tackles up the sleeve, though, for the Cowboys. Tackle 3 now. Taumalolo marching forward. Crash ball for... Oh, Robson, is it? Feeding Griffin Neem. I think it was Griffin Neem there. They've still got the ball. Couple of meters out from the line. Sharks goal line defense. Holds firm. 5th and last. One more play to see off. Chad out the back to Dearden. Drinkwater's up in the line. And it's been spilled forward by Taulungi. Oh, the Cowboys. The basics have just fallen away from them here. The Cowboys. Taulungi, you don't expect to see that. Not from him. They are all over the Sharks in defense, though, the Cowboys. But, geez, the attack is what's letting them down at the moment. Huge defense from Ruben Cotter. Oh, the Sharks collapses. It's only 2 converted tries. This game is far from safe. Far from secure. There is plenty of time left to run down 2 converted tries. Tracy now taking on the line. Ramian cuts back in field, finds a lazy runner in Cotter. But he's taken down just over halfway. Tackle 5. Trindle's out to the left. They're running it here, the Sharks. Graham puts the kick in over the top. Drinkwater. It bounces kindly for him. He looks up. He's got a long way to go upfield. And that's great work there from the Sharks. See how much better a Sharks set is when Braden Trindle does the kicking. Braden Trindle kicks. They get results. Oh, now numbers to burn on the right. Valamay's on the outside. Mulatalo gets back at him. Brings him down. Forces the offload to Hiku. Oh, that was looking threatening. Danger signs there for the Sharks. They hold on, though. Fifth and last. Chad. A high looping kick. They've let it bounce. Oh, you never let the ball bounce, and it's on here for Cotter. If he can get his hands free, he can't. Oh, heart attack stuff there from the Sharkies. You never let the ball bounce like that. I mean, that's just the basics of the game. Footy 101 right there. You don't let the ball bounce, and that could just very well sum up the Cowboys' night on attack. If that doesn't fall your way, you know you're going to be doing it tough. 17 minutes to go. That's plenty of time for a Sharks capitulation. Don't you worry, though. Cowboy supporters, don't you worry. She's not over yet. Plenty of time. Trindle from inside the 40. Hooks it nicely. He's going to get a 40-20 here, Trindle. Oh, are you kidding me? I've been saying it all night. Take the kicking card away from Nico Hines. Give it to Braden Trindle. And he has now just pulled off a 40-20. Amazing. Braden Trindle has hopefully ended the career, for the Sharks at least, of Matt Moylan. This is a massive set now. Massive set in the game. 10 out from the line now, the Sharks. McInnes takes it forward. 16 minutes to go. Can they go further ahead? Brayley out the back to Hines. Hamlin-Uele cuts back in field. They're 5 short. Still trying to go, Hamlin-Uele. Must play it here on tackle 3. Out to the right-hand side. Hines to Trindle. Trindle, tricky Trindle. When he gets the ball, things happen. And he looks threatening there. But the Cowboys hold on. 5th and last now. Nikora just settles things down. Big open side to the left. Do they dare go short side? They do go short side. Trindle puts the grubber kick through for himself. And Drinkwater is there to tap it dead. It's a goal line dropout. Oh, Braden Trindle take a bow. He's having a blinder. And Fitzy had this guy playing down at the Jets for 3/4 of the season. And he's got that great big goof on a roof, Matt Moylan, playing week in, week out. Braden Trindle has been immense. Short dropout. It's not going to go the 10, and he's played at it. The kick hasn't gone 10, and Semi Valamay has leapt up above everybody and caught the ball. What a great big galoot, and he has just gifted the Sharks 2 points. Take the 2. Take the 2. Finally, an opportunity to use my goalposts in the chat, and it's actually going to come to fruition. Oh, Ming the Merciless can't even bear to watch in the coach's box. Semi Valamay, God bless him, but he has just had a brain fart of all brain farts there. Leaping up and catching that ball on the full. And the Sharks are about to go out by 16 points. No, 14 points. 14 points ahead. I can't count. Valamay. Goof of the Night Award goes to Valamay. 26 points to 12. Sharks over the Cowboys. Cowboys season is suddenly hanging on by a thread. But don't worry, Cowboys supporters. 13 and a half minutes to go. Plenty of time for the Sharks to do something stupid. Valamay, what was he thinking? "13 minutes to go to the break. On the live ladder, the Sharks move within 3 points differential. in the for and against of the Melbourne Storm in fourth place. Cowboys get us back underway. No short kickoff. There was not a short kickoff this time. Oh, don't you worry. The Cowboys are still in this. It's not over yet. Against any other team, I'd probably say game over, but against the Sharks, it's still well and truly in the balance here, this game. Hines now stepping around in midfield. Connor takes him around the chin. How is that not a penalty? The offload to Tracy. Nowhere to go there. Connor Tracy, fifth and last here, Sharks. Hines. No! Hines, you have no kicking card. Where's Trindle? Michelle says the Boomers are smashing South Sudan too, by the way. Color me shocked. I'm actually more... The surprising thing about that is not that the Boomers are beating South Sudan. It's the fact that South Sudan has a team. Uno asks, what's the hardest match Storm have in their last rounds? Coming to Suncorp to play the Broncos in the final round of the season. $11 minutes to go. Still time in this one. I'm going to give it... Oh, I'm not even going to have the courage to give it till 7 minutes left. I'm going to give it till under 5 minutes left. At under 5 minutes, if this scoreline is still the same, I will be willing to risk calling it. There you go. How's that, Shack of Hearts? Fifth and last now, Sharks. 30 outs, front football. Oh, it's not the fifth and last. It's tackle 4. Now it's fifth and last. Hamlin ULA still fighting, still driving, looking for the quick play the ball. They're inside the Cowboys 20. They go the blind side. Hines back inside to Tracy. Tracy puts the grubber kick in through for Wade Graham. Wade Graham looking for a double, and there is a result. A goal line dropout, and they have to go short here. 10 minutes to go. They must go short. They take the ball again. 10 out from the line. Oh, Toby Rudolph spills it forward. And now Drinkwater spills it forward as well. Oh, is that the beginning of the self-destruction? Is that the invitation for the Cowboys? Oh, the faith that I have in my team is remarkable. Here go the Cowboys up towards halfway. 8 minutes, 43 seconds to go. 14 the difference. Dearden to Leilua. Leilua shrugs off one. He's still going. Looks to get the arms free, but the ball spills loose. And it comes away for the Sharks. Tracy now in space. Running across field, though. Not forwards. That's the only problem. 0 tackle for the Sharks. The Cowboys' attack just fell to pieces in the second half, didn't it? They were completing so well. Both teams were completing so well in the first half. But in this second stanza, the Cowboys have just fallen apart. Now Hines looking for runners. Toby Rudolph, I wouldn't exactly call a runner. He was just kind of meandering up beside him. But it's tackle 4 now. Now Hines goes on his own. Nico Hines holds the ball out in front of him. They have no idea what he's thinking. Is he going to kick? Is he going to pass? Holding the ball with 2 hands out in front of him. The defense holds off and Hines just goes straight through. And that, I don't even have the courage to say that might just put this game to bed. 30 points to 12. Try confirmed. Hines running the ball with 2 hands and then he puts the step on. Goes straight through. Was that Drinkwater at the back? $30 points to 12. Kick to come. And this has now put the Sharks ahead of the Storm on for and against. The Sharks are temporarily, at least, in 4th spot. They are in the top 4 officially on for and against. Temporarily. The Storm do, of course, have a game to play. And they are playing the Dragons. So it is only going to be temporary. A very, very temporary trip into the top 4 for the Sharkies. 24 hours to be precise. Hines converts from just to the right of the post. 32 points to 12. Where does this season stand now for the North Queensland Cowboys? They're in 9th. Their for and against has copped a little bit of a beating here. Souths, Newcastle, Raiders, they've got an opportunity to create some space there, create some distance on the Cowboys. This is a big, big loss. This was always going to be a much bigger loss for the Cowboys than the Sharks. That's for certain. Will says Sharkies are back in town. The top 4 are probs looking in rear vision mirror at the dust stirring up behind them. Yeah, I'm still not convinced about top 4 hopes. Just because to be any chance of the top 4, the Sharks have to win all their remaining games, basically. They've got Newcastle next week. But the one that concerns me is the Raiders. The Raiders in the last round. The Sharks haven't beaten the Raiders in the last 9 or 10 attempts. For some reason, the Sharks just can't play against the Raiders. So I don't think there's really any chance of the top 4. But I reckon 5th will be a very good result for the Sharks. If they can get 5th, get a home final, that would be fantastic for them. A great result. Also, did the Sharks really want to play Panthers in week 1 of the finals? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Nobody wants to play the Panthers in the final series. Cowboys ball, though, here. 5 minutes 40 to go. It's been a great improvement in the second half for the Sharks defensively. Oh, Katoa nearly bags an intercept. He would have been away. Katoa would have been away. Captain Redbeard, cheers, mate. Five minutes to go. There we go. I said if it gets under 5 minutes, I'm prepared to take the risk of calling it. Oh, penalty. Penalty, Cowboys. Penalty, Cowboys. Take the 2. They're going to tap and go here, the Cows. 4 minutes, 46 to go. 10 out from the line. Cowboys now. Will they get last say? A try. Can they score a try just to steal that 24-hour top 4 spot away from the Sharks? Leilua. Back inside goes Taulagi. Taulagi drags 3 defenders with him. Falls just short of the line. Tackle 2. This will be good practice for the Sharks. Goal line defense. They're holding on at the moment. Drink water. And it's dropped by Hicker. It sums up the second half for the Cowboys here, really, doesn't it? Peter Hicker just spills his beans. The attack of the Cowboys just fell to pieces in the second half so badly. 3 minutes 43 to go. Scrum down for the Sharks. 10 out from their own line in midfield. Katoa will take the first hit up. 3 minutes to go. Surely it's secure now. I said if it got under 5 minutes, I'd be willing to take the risk and call it. I think we can feel pretty safe now. 3 minutes to go. 20 points the difference. Have the ball for 3 more tackles at least. Well, 2 more tackles at least. McInnes to Rudolph. Sometimes the Sharks forwards have just looked so lethargic, though, in back play, but they're still getting in, putting the work in. Ivan says they didn't feed the cows before the game. Hines puts the kick in. It dribbles over the sideline. 2.5 minutes to go. The Sharks just winding down the clock now. They're just seeing this game through to the end. They've really turned it around, the Sharks. They've answered the critics. Ever since that South Sydney Rabbitohs game, they've answered the critics. They've stepped up. Their season is well and truly back on track. Shack of Hearts, I'm not sure if you're joking or not, mate. Shack of Hearts has said, what made you so paranoid, Dan? The Sharks aren't really known for blowing massive leads. I'm not sure if he's kidding or not. They lost from an unlosable position in week 1 of the finals against this very team just last year. They blew a 30-point lead. They got run down a 30-point lead against the Warriors not that long ago. I mean, those are just 2 examples off the top of my head in recent times. They're very well known for losing massive leads or any leads. They're very well known for losing the unlosable. We can even go as far back as the late 90s, the 96 to 99 era, where Manly were the top team. Oh, nearly intercepted. Jesse Ramian has nearly bagged an intercept, and that would have been leg 3 of the multi. Not that it matters because Kyle Felt didn't score anyway. In the mid to late 90s, when Manly were like the team of teams, the Sharks were pretty good as well. They would be ahead by like 8 to 10 points going into the last 10 minutes of finals, and Manly would just run over the top of them. Shack of Hearts, I'm a long-suffering Shark supporter. Believe me, they are very well known for losing the unlosable. Full-time siren sounds in the background, and the Sharks have come away 32 points to 12. For the Cowboys, well, I think the Cowboys have got a guaranteed 2 points in the last round. I mean, look, do not bank on this. I really don't think the Cowboys should bank on this by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm fairly certain that the Panthers are going to be resting players. It's pretty much a gift 2 points in the last round for the Cowboys up against the Panthers. Okay, Dan, can we do a comparison video on the best kick and chase try? Oh, I don't have the same screens set up. Oh, I don't know why I'm referring to last night. Last night we had reaction screens set up. I need to try and get the same screen set up here for the Waste of Water Sports so that we actually can do that in future, because that went well. That was great last night with my dad doing reaction videos. Uh-oh. Welcome along there in the chat. Let's go Sharks. All right. So, all right, give me a second. Give me a second. I'll try and sort this out. Oh, it's not the time. It's not the time, James Jason. It's just I don't have any immediate way of sharing the screen on the stream. That's all. I'm not concerned about the time of only 2 videos. Don't get me wrong. think we've got it. I think we've got it sorted out. So if I go over to this screen, there we go. Look at that. Okay, so we're talking about the comparison of the best kick and chase tries. Is that what we're talking about? Yes. Okay. Jason Bourne would like to do a comparison on the best kick and chase try. And from what I understand, it's narrowed down to Billy Slater and Brett Mullins. So this is Billy Slater's one. Oh, do we honestly have to watch this? New South Wales Blues supporters, do we really have to see this again? Relive the misery? Yes. Yes, you do. You absolutely do have to see this. Oh. That's okay. I probably need to... No, the actual gameplay footage is fine. I just need to leave the audio off. There we go. Slater puts the kick in. Actually, is this the one where No, he kicked for himself. Okay. There was one where Billy Slater scored where I was convinced he was off. Slater was offside from this kick from Darren Lockyer. I was convinced of that fact at the time. Okay, well, I've paused way too late. But anyway, look. Yeah. Okay, Brett Mullins, chip and chase. Try versus the Broncos. From dummy half, he races out, puts the kick in again. It pops up. Oh, look at the skill. The skill to rein that in. That is clearly the most superior of the two. Yep, the Brett Mullins one is clearly the most superior and skillful of the two. Look at that, the kick over the top. Gets the boot to the ball again. See, wasn't Billy Slater's? Okay, let's just ignore the fact that it pops up nicely for him, okay? But look at the Mullins one. The Mullins one, from dummy half, spots the gap, puts it in, doesn't pop up to him and catch the ball. That's the key difference here. It doesn't pop up and he catches the ball there. No, he puts boot to it again while the ball is still bouncing in mid-flight. He puts the boot again with enough control on the kick for it to now pop up for him again. He just has to do it. He just gets fingertips to it. Does the juggling act. Regathers and scores. That, in my opinion, a far superior try. And as Shack of Hearts says, he did it all himself. It was Mullins from dummy half. It was Mullins who put the initial kick in. It was Mullins who kicked it in the air for the second kick. It was Mullins who regathered it. It was Mullins who scored the try. Whereas Billy Slater's, once again, as I say, ignoring the fact he was offside, it was Lockyer who put the initial kick in that put him into space, despite the fact he was offside. But we're ignoring that. Mullins, far superior try, that one. Great work, Jason Bourne, by the way. Fantastic. Brilliant work. I remember this now. That's the funny thing. I remember that now, having seen it. But if you had to put me on the spot and asked me without the footage to back it up, I would have had no clue. And it was so good to see that again. But yes, the Mullins chip chase, clearly the superior of the two tries. I mean, it's not even in the same field. He's done it all on his own. The second effort. even on the commentary, this will be a miracle. I realize you can't hear it because I've purposely muted the commentary, but even in the commentary, it's like, this fucking Broncos kit, by the way. It was a very unusual Broncos jersey, wasn't it? Let's see if there's a close-up anywhere. Oh, was that Dale Furner? Was that big bad Dale Furner? Was that his name? Or Dan Furner? Somebody Furner, right? I'm sticking with D names. I could be way off. It could be bloody it could be bloody Paris Furner for all I know. Furner though, isn't it? Yeah, look at that Broncos jersey. The diamonds. The Broncos diamonds. Shack of Heart says both games are commentated by the GOAT of sports commentators, Ray Warren. 100% Shack of Hearts. What an absolute legend. The game is not the same. And honestly, if Rabs hadn't have retired, I might not even be doing this. To be perfectly honest. If Rabs didn't step down, because ultimately Waste of Water Sports was born out of me just in 2019. I started it for the Rugby World Cup, but that was just for a little bit of a laugh. But David Furner, thank you. Yes. What did I say? Don. Did I say Don? Or Dale? Who did I say? I might have been getting mixed up with Dale Shearer. All the years and eras blending together. David Furner. What was I on about? I don't remember. Anyways, horrible Broncos jersey. Look at that. It was really weird. Now, how long, does anyone know? Here's a little bit of trivia for the chat room. Does anyone know how long that Broncos jersey lasted? It was only 1 or 2 years at most, wasn't it? Before they sort of went back to a more aesthetically pleasing style. That is a real shocker of a jersey, though, isn't it? The diamonds, the diamond design. Hands down, though, Brett Mullins, that's the greatest one. Absolutely. Out of the two choices available, hands down. Great stuff there. Great stuff, Jason Bourne. Fabulous. I would have forgotten about that try had I not seen it again. All right, Waste of Water Sports. Got work tomorrow, so got to call it a night. We'll be back for Friday night footy. Hope you enjoyed tonight. Hope you enjoyed last night. Generations Vodcast with the old Panther. It's going to become a regular thing. We'll probably do it every couple of weeks. The Generations Vodcast, talking about rugby league and sports in general, past, present, future. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for Friday Night Footy. Thank you so much. Once again, the Super Chatters tonight, James, Jason Bourne, and Will. Very much appreciate the support. Shack of Heart says, I think it was just the one season. Yeah, I think so too. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Yes, guys and gals. Guys, gals, and gender unspecified. I've got to be politically correct on YouTube and all. Thank you very much. See you all next time. Cheers. His ass is hanging out as he makes a break-up field. Stepping back on. Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Cameron Munster's now putting his balls in Nick Mean's face.
I have no idea what the Waste of Water Sports is.